Crossout lets its players take the Leviathans out for a spin in a new game mode. Tree of Savior adds in 2 new classes to the Cleric and Archer lines. Dauntless fires up its open beta, and after 17 years running, RuneScape Classic finally calls it quits. What's up guys, James Blonde here with a weekly recap for gaming news and announcements of the week of May 25th, 2018. And starting out the news this week, the newest chapter of Elder Scrolls Online's story was launched into early access for PC and Mac on the 22nd this past week. The new Summerset expansion, which goes live on June 5th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One simultaneously, features the Signic Order skill line, a new jewelry crafting ability, and plenty of new quests. By the decree of Queen Erin, the secretive island is now open to foreigners for the first time. You'll be able to journey through lush forests, tropical lagoons, and ancient coral caves in the new zone, which boasts an even larger play area than last year's absolutely massive Morrowind expansion. Also on both PC and console, the first major update of the PS4 version of Armored Warfare, Caribbean Crisis, released this past Tuesday as well. The update brings with it a ton of performance improvements and updates, but also a unique game mode called Special Operations. This mode features a series of challenging PvE missions that connect a compelling overarching narrative across a ton of new landscapes. These new locations include the Mojave Desert, the Panama Canal, and Jamaica, all set in the year 2042, which is pretty cool. Some of the other features include overhauled maps, a new commander system, new trophies to unlock, and a series of graphical upgrades, which is always nice. For a complete breakdown of the patch notes, check out the link in the description below. On a slightly similar note, CrossOut has finally put the power of the PvE boss class Leviathan vehicles in the hands of its players with its new Clan Wars Leviathans mode. In this new match type, players will engage in 4v4 PvP battles, and the captain of each team will be piloting a Leviathan, while the other members of the team will be piloting their regular vehicles. The Leviathan itself is going to be constructed from the ground up using individual parts and feature different weapons, armor, and support system like shield generators, drones, and all kinds of stuff. However, with their sheer size, they can carry much more of everything else compared to ordinary vehicles, so yeah, beast mode. Captains can match their Leviathan layout perfectly with the strategy of their team, which makes for a really cool dynamic. This new Clan Wars mode will be ranked, with the top 30 clans each week being rewarded generously with uranium, which is used to craft rare weapons or sold for great profit. Now, honestly, it seems like a really fun new game mode. Might actually have to check this one out. Next up, Nexon announced this past week that it's going to bring its 2D beat-em-up MOBA Hyper Universe to Xbox One this summer. In addition, fans of the game can pre-order a special Ultimate Hypers pack for just about $20, which is available today on the Xbox One Marketplace, valued at over $120, as they always say. It includes instant access to all 39 Hypers at launch, access to all future Hypers, and 6 Xbox exclusive Hyper skins. Players who pre-order the Ultimate Hypers pack by August 6th, which has plenty of time, will also receive the Ara's Arrow skin for Selene at launch. Now, if you're excited to see the Xbox build of the game in action, it's actually going to be featured on the Xbox Mixer stream during E3 on June 13th, which is just around the corner. I am super excited for E3 this year, even though I don't get to go. There's so much that's going to get revealed. Also this past week, the Maestros announced they'll be hosting a closed beta weekend, which started today actually, May 25th, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The game will remain open until May 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for online matchmaking. But before I get too far ahead of myself here, the Maestros is a online multiplayer RTS MOBA hybrid-ish that features 2 factions. Players can join the Dieselpunk-inspired Knights of Teutonia, or the mutated monster race known as the Alchemists of Regalis. I think that's how you say it. And in this game, players take heroes in teams of 3 to recruit minions by clearing camps and fighting monsters and opponents together. From there, you can upgrade your base units to more powerful ones with transform points, and of course, the hero units actually have skill-based abilities. Looks like it could be kind of fun, and you know, we like to showcase the little guys sometimes, so if you want to try out the game in closed beta, which is happening already, click the link in the description below to sign up. Tree of Savior showcased its 2 new classes for the Cleric and Archer lines this week in the Exorcist and the Pied Piper, respectively. The Exorcist can perform powerful AoE damage spells and can even chain spells off of his allies to create dynamic areas of effect that change as party members move around during the battle. Pied Piper also specializes in AoE magic, but focuses on charming people, creatures, heavy-duty crowd control, and cleansing. The Pied Piper seems like it'll be especially useful from a utility standpoint, as the Exorcist seems largely focused on damage. It's worth noting that only a small amount of these classes' abilities are actually shown during these announcement trailers, so when it comes to Tree of Savior, classes get super detailed, to say the least, but you guys know that if you're playing the game. No real expectations as to when you'll actually see these classes in-game. Of course, it could be next week, it could be next month. Only time will tell. Next up, as I mentioned in one of the past recaps, the Wolfdogs of Closers has a new team member joining the fight this week in the form of the trickster Harpy. Formerly known as a Phantom Thief, Harpy strikes with lightning-fast kicks and energy-powered cards at range. She's an incredibly agile character and has the ability to summon massive pillars of energy to deal great area damage. To celebrate her debut, Inmass is hosting a special Harpy community event this week. The Harpy Kickstarter event is going on from now until May 29th, and participants who can level Harpy to level 20 before the end of the event will receive 1 day of elite status, 5 pirate costume washing machines, 500 EMP, and Midnight Wings accessory for 30 days, plus a permanent shark accessory, whatever that might be. I'm sure there are plenty more details at the site posted at MMOHuts.com. On a bit of a sad note, it was announced on Wednesday that RuneScape Classic servers will be shutting down after 17 years of operation. Wow. Primary reason for the closing is the growing concern for security, and this time it's not GDPR. It's actually the team's current tools for things like macro detection and other potential security risks becoming incompatible with the classic game, which led to the increase in bots and other abuses of the game. The lack of community safety, they say, creates such a serious problem that they can no longer justify keeping the game online. Which makes sense. One of the developers from the RuneScape team reported in a blog this past week that the number of bugs is getting worse, and we're gradually seeing the game break. It's important to highlight that these bugs are ones that we cannot fix due to the unsupported nature of the game. So, sadly, the RuneScape Classic servers will be taken offline at 8 AM BST on August 6th, 2018. So you'll still have a little bit of time to feel the nostalgia that most of you guys grew up playing. And finally, more as a reminder, Phoenix Labs announced this past week that their free-to-play behemoth hunting title Dauntless has launched into open beta officially. Over 1 million players have already jumped into the Shattered Isles to hunt down and harvest parts from these massive monsters, and with beta tests now open to the public, that number is definitely going to grow. In Dauntless, players take the role of slayers who hunt massive, powerful monsters called behemoths, and the gameplay is very similar to what you find in the Monster Hunter series, and features a wide array of crafting and upgrading for players to do alongside their hunts. Phoenix Labs is committed to making Dauntless an evolving experience with plans for expansions, new adventures, and more behemoths to be added in the game as time goes on. Once players have completed the main campaign, the Evergame as they call it, the Evergame experience will bring new challenges and activities, including dire behemoths to fight, which are supposedly even more badass, and heroic difficulty missions for those looking for an even bigger challenge. The game is looking really good. It honestly has from the beginning, and now that it's time for open beta, it's definitely worth the download. But anyway, guys, that's about it for all the major news and announcements for this week. Like always, thanks for the support. For more information about the news topics, check the links in the description below. Feel free to discuss the news or more news in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.